Hello there. Here we are with issue 41, starting our third set of 20 issues. So this issue, we're going to talk about the Eta 2 Actus class interceptor. And you would have seen these in um, uh, Revenge of the Sith, and those were Jedi craft. And then we're going to talk about the Naboo underworld. So that might be interesting. I don't think enough attention was given to the Naboo underworld. In this Secrets of Spaceflight, we'll talk about the YT-1300 fuel system and fuel storage and all that kind of fun stuff. Now let's go ahead and get into this issue. So let's go ahead and see what we've got in this issue. So we've got an LED. We've got those two pieces. We've got some plating, still the bottom. We've got that part of the cone. Ooh, we have some magnets. Throw that over there. We have some stickers that I organized nicely. So we have those. And these are going to be for the covers on the landing legs. And that's what the magnets are for. So it comes with magnets and posts. So, and those are neodymium magnets, I believe. So they're pretty strong. All right, let's go ahead and set this stuff off to the side because it looks like we're going to be putting the seat together first. So we got the seat here. Let me just bring my book up. And we'll set that there. Get this seat out. So, like most things, I'm going to take it all off the sprue. And again, I'll reiterate what the sprue is. That's this part here that holds all the pieces. I'll take them all off the sprue and clean them up and all that kind of stuff, and we'll get it put together. And then when we come back, well, after I get it all cleaned up and everything, then I'll come back and we'll get it all put together. So I will catch you guys all in a moment. There you go. That's how small these things are. So this is a foot pedal. I'm not sure what this cone is, but this is the yoke, the aiming yoke. This is just a brace that goes behind the seat, and then the rest just stuff to make it look good. So there you go. I'm gonna go wash these now, and hopefully I don't lose any of them. I'll wash them, and then we'll be able to put them together and then paint them. See you guys in a minute. Alright, here we go. Parts are here. They should be dry. If they're not, always thought they should have been. Let me tell you, these things were difficult to clean. Like these little foot pedals, they just wanted to keep falling off. And I had one stuck to my thumb. I had no idea where it was. I was looking all over the place, could not find it. So that was interesting. Alright. Let's go ahead and get started putting this together. So the first thing we need is this piece here. I'll put it like that. So, see if we can get this. So you can see how it kind of sticks out that way. I think this part here, this side here, is the side that faces the person. So that's the way I'm going to put it in. I got one up and one down. So that is not what the picture looks like. Let me show you. So that's what the picture looks like. They don't tell you a whole lot. It just says glue a pedal on each side of the pivot. Thanks. And the final part is to glue this in here. And then this hole here is where we'll attach this with a screw. So let's put this in there. And that's not round, it's kind of keyed, so it only goes in one way. There we go. I will prime this so that I can paint it. Obviously, I want to have some sort of detailing to it, even though it's not going to be seen. But if I can detail it a little bit with some paint, then that's all right with me. All right, there we go. That is everything on here. So I'll get it primed and we'll do some fine detailing later. Okay, see you after a bit. Okay, so the primer is drying and we're going to go ahead and put these parts together. All right. So there's that. The last part is to attach this, and it is keyed, so it only goes on one way. So here's the slot, and here's the key. So it only goes on one way like that. So I think I will wait to put this part on after I get the seat put together. So that seems like a pretty reasonable option. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'll catch you back when the seat's dry and we're ready to paint it. All right, here we are. Primer is dry, and I looked at some images. Let me show you a couple here, and you can see kind of what we're looking at. Pretty much everything's going to be black. There's going to be some highlights of different colors, mostly silver, some grays. But we're just going to go with black gloss for the seat and some of the other stuff. So let's just go ahead and get going on that. And then, like I said, we'll highlight the colors that we need to for everything else. And I don't feel like my alligator clip's got a very good grip on this thing, so and if I can avoid touching this bar here, I want to keep it gray because that's the color that it was. So we're going to try to get this thing painted without touching that thing. And what do? I touch it immediately. Wasn't very good showing. Now, I shouldn't have to paint the back, but in interest of being thorough, I am going to paint the back. Now, the smart thing would have probably just gone ahead and airbrushed, just airbrushed this whole thing black and then came back and painted the other parts the color that they needed to be. But I did not feel like actually using the airbrush. It would have been a lot faster and all that kind of stuff, but I just didn't feel like it. Okay, I think that will be enough for this color. I'm going to go wash this brush and then we'll come back with some silver and some other colors. Welcome back, everybody. Here we are with, let's get some height. I don't know what's going on here. Like the whole thing just keeps wanting to fall. Here we are back with our painting, and had I heeded Hans' advice and not gotten cocky, I wouldn't have to do this cleanup. But I have to do this cleanup, and it's probably going to be a pain to do just for the simple fact that I'm going to be covering up black. So we're going to see what we can do about that and go from there. Let me get my palette out here. Get that one going. And let's get our gray. Now, I tried to match the gray as best I could. I think I did a pretty good job. Ideally, this one was probably the closest match, except as you can see, there's nothing in there. And finding flat, dark, gall gray is very difficult. So I'm going with dark ghost gray for this, and we'll see how well this goes. We're going to use the fine brush for this because we shan't need more than that. I'll try to hold my hand steady while I do this. Alright, so the other thing I want to do with the gray is I would like to put a line here in between, but I don't think that's going to be possible. So I won't do it. Alright, so that'll work for the gray. I'm going to go clean this brush and we'll come back, and these I get to add details on. So that part will be easy and fun. Silver definitely does stir up really nicely. I'll give it to Tamiya. They know how to make some paint. I don't know why I'm somewhat kind of, what's the word? Affectionate for Model Master, but probably because it's an American company, or at least I assume it is. It used to be, anyway. I don't know who owns Rust-Oleum now, but all right. So first thing we need to do is, oh yeah, very first thing needs to happen is, see that dot right there in the middle? That needs to get silverized. I don't know if I'm going to do the blue. I don't know any blue controls. But this spot right here, you can see is gray. If I can get it. Okay. See that gray little rectangle? That is going to be red. We're going to make that red. So what I might actually do, so I don't have to run off and go clean this brush right away, I might go ahead and try to do it with a micro brush, because that will make my life a little bit easier. So in the pictures as well, that is the targeting screen. And so the targeting was in red. So that's why we're going to do it in red. And really all we have to do is get our paint right off the stirring stick. We don't have to do much else than that. Man, this is like painting a house. You get paint everywhere. Don't need that much paint. Probably still a bit too much. There we go. It's red now. All right. So I think that is all the detailing I'm going to do on this. There's not a lot of details to it. As you had seen in the pictures, it's pretty much all black. There's most everything in there. So I'm going to let this dry just a little bit. I'll go wash this, and when we come back, I'll get it mounted in here. We'll finish up this issue. All right. See you in a minute. All right. We're back. Still have paint on my thumb. So this should fit in here just like that, and it does. Look at that. Fantastic. Now I have a bit of a uh, let me get it screwed in there and I'll show you what I'm looking at. So to screw this in, we need one of our silver screws. We'll get that prepped and ready to go. Now the funny thing is, once you use one of these flange screws, but the flange is not really big enough to prevent the whole thing from sliding back through. See if I can tighten this up any more. Sure I can. Alright. So it's not... There we go. Alright. So here's what I'm looking at. So there's a slight disappointment. One, the colors didn't match as well as I thought they were going to, which is fine. I don't really have a problem with that. But I should have probably thought about uh, priming this so that way it was all the same color. But I'm not going to fret. Not going to bother me at all. Just something that I should have done, which means I don't have to do it. Pardon me. Which means I don't have to do it in the next one either. So there you go. Apply a little glue to the flange on the ring and fit the turret. So, yeah, a little bit of glue. There we go. Well, there we go. All right, that'll set up here nicely. And that is all done. So that concludes this issue. Issue 41. That is the very last thing we got to do. So that's 41. Next time in 42, we're going to get one of these recess pieces and some parts to put in there. We're also going to get a screw tap. So that's kind of interesting. And then another piece of plating. So we'll be doing a plating party here as well. And speaking of plating, I wanted to show off. I did this during my live stream. I masked it and painted it and everything. I wanted to show it off, so I pulled all the exterior paint or masking off, and you can see that some of the paint did kind of run through. But I'm okay with that because, like I said, this is all going to get primed and everything. But there you go. That has been painted as well. So I'll have another one of those to paint at some point. And yeah, and we'll finish blacking out the rest of the hull pieces that need it as well. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I very much appreciate it. And I want to say, may the force be with you always.